boy. I take off a couple days to do Christmas shopping, and the internet it's set on fire again. One day, give me a week of just chilling. You know what I mean? A week of me being able to like take a day off and people not putting their entire leg in their mouth. What do you guys think? Is that too much to ask, you guys think? I have been watching this from the sidelines. Obviously, I wasn't streaming when this happened. But after Matt Henson, which if you don't know, it's the art director for Avowed, the new RPG that Obsidian is, it's releasing next year. You know, I thought it was bad enough. And then this David Jaffe, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I didn't even know this man existed. And was like, apparently he's the creator of God of War, which good for him. I have never played God of War, so I don't care. I have no stakes in this. But I saw a tweet of him, and it's this tweet. Let me show you real quick. So I saw this tweet, and I think this kind of what sparked everything. And obviously, Dragon Age the Veilguard, I have been very vocal about Dragon Age the Veilguard. Some people might say that I was a grifter for Dragon Age the Veilguard. And he says, did YouTube grifters kill Dragon Age? And the answer is absolutely not. Obviously, no. I don't think me and the internet did absolutely anything for the game to flop. I think things just fall under their own weight. And if it's shit, it's shit, okay? He thinks that we, because he says YouTube grifters, Dragon Age the Veilguard, this is Endymion, me, Hypnotic, the usual suspects, I'm assuming. I mean, EA should have seen it coming and been ready, but yeah, I think if they didn't pull the trigger on this title, they sure as shit loaded the gun. Right. Assholes, let's discuss. I love that they will shift the blame. They will be like, oh no, my multi-billionaire company, stop. This is harassment to the highest degree. Like, bro, you didn't ask nobody's opinion, but a council of 20 people who did not speak, obviously, for the entire demographic of Dragon Age. And the game was objectively bad. I have spoken about it so many times. And during those 4 months that I was going at its throat, because I was, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise, and I will do it again. I came after every single aspect of the game. I came after every single bit of the game that was just objectively wrong. I mentioned the top surgery scores one time. During the character creator analysis that I did. And all I had to say about that was what is the lore canon explanation for this? How does this work in the canon of Dragon Age? Radio silence. And that's all I had to say about that. And then the game came out, and the game was worse than I could have ever imagined. And that's my fault. Yeah, blame everyone else but the people that made the product. It's like, oh, you were mean to the cook online, and now all he cooks is shit. Okay? No? Yeah, he's also gone after Vara, so that's nice. This is crazy behavior, literally senile behavior, and I have been told that David Jaffe may have some horses in this race. Child. Yeah, my beautiful trans son is not happy, which, you know what? Sure. But again, yeah, so an activist, obviously, and he has horses in this race, obviously. Sure. But this is absolutely 100%, like the whole thing with Veilguard, coming from a very personal place for David Jaffe. He has a trans son. That's none of my business. But let's not pretend that this is coming from a unbiased position as someone who has, experience in the industry. No. This is once again, oh, you're a bigot. You didn't like the messages shoved down your throat by this title, therefore you are a bigot, which it's not the case at all. So, bro, I understand children are sacred, like, that's on you. You're a father, that's your child. I do not have an opinion on other people's lives and parenting styles. I literally don't give a shit. But this is coming from a very personal place from him, and he is an activist 100%, and he feels like, he has to voice his opinion. He has to use his voice as someone that, is like a name in the industry. I didn't know who he was, but again, there's a lot that I don't know and that I'm learning about. And he feels like he has to, which is the case with a lot of like people like this. Like they have a family member or a friend and they have to be an ally. They have to be a vocal ally. What you have to do is parent your kid and make sure that your kid is healthy, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to ruin your reputation and be shamed online and be like, I just like, this is really sad in my opinion. Like, this is a man that should just focus on his family in a private setting. Like, don't expose your shit on the internet and just be professional. If you want to speak about video games, speak about video games. Don't mix your personal life with your career, because bro, people like him are already on like boiling water as it is. Okay, people don't take shit like this laying down anymore. And the fact that you're willing to put yourself out there for what? For what? It's not a good look. It's not a good look, unfortunately. I feel like this concerns me. Did YouTube Drifters kill Dragon Age? Did I? Maybe I did. Maybe I single-handedly ruined the biggest title that, BioWare has released in 10 years by myself, by my lonesome. Let's see. Again, never consumed anything from this man. Never played God of War games. Now I'm kind of happy that I didn't. So, let's see what he has to say, honestly. I haven't watched this video, so this is going to be my first reaction. I have only reacted to the shit that he's been spewing on Twitter, but let's see.
Community ruined this game's success. I mean, I don't think that's entirely fair, but I think there is a lot of truth to it. If you're EA, you've got to kind of prepare for the market winds that you're sailing into and all that. And so they should have been prepared to counter, and they weren't.
Really? Counter what? Counter what? He's saying, oh, EA should have seen this coming. Why? Because they knew that they were pandering to the wrong market, to the wrong audience, and how they prepare for that, how they prepare for the backlash. You don't have to prepare for the backlash if the product that you make, even though it's woke, it's good. The problem with Veilguard is that overall, at its core, it's not a good video game. From a logistical, from a coding, from a writing standpoint, it's a terrible game in every single aspect. And yes, it's, a lot of people are just tired of gender identity and politics and ideologies being shoved down their throats when they just want to be a silly wizard casting spells. I'm one of those. I literally don't care about what people do in their houses. But how do you counter just backlash for something that you did? By lying? By trying? How do you minimize the damage? You can't, because again, it's not up to you guys, which is what they don't realize. It's like, oh, you guys are just demanding things from these people. We are the customers. if I tell you as a cook to make me a sandwich and you make me a soup, I'm gonna spit in your eyeball because that's not what I paid for. So, of course, people are gonna be like, what the is this? And why are you acting like I asked for this? Why are you acting like the victim?
At this point, all that gaming community that you're talking about has done is they've made it so they've actually made games worse, which is what they say they're trying to not.
How? Explain it to me. Explain to me how we, the vocal majority that is saying, hey, that is a bad game, don't sell us that. Go back and make it good. How are we ruining video games? But it's people like you who are pandering to a very, very small minority of people and are listening to that like those people's opinions about what the game should be like. And when the game comes out, turns out that the game is utter garbage because you followed those people's advices. How is that my fault? That because you chose to listen to people that only care about themselves and only care about their lifestyles and how they live their life. How is that my fault? I'm not actively giving you input in the making of the game process, in the development process, am I? Those people in the council who have their names in the credits of Dragon Age the Veilguard, those people were actually giving you input during the development process of the game. People that do not know how to wipe their own asses. But that's my fault that you listen to them and the game is bad. They love to use words like accountability, consequences, but they're incapable of applying those terms to themselves. Where's the accountability now? Where is dealing with the consequences of your actions now? Why are they giving you, a game developer, input on anything about making a video game? Why are you listening to them to begin with? And then you blame everyone else? No one asked me what I wanted in Dragon Age the Veilguard, but I can tell you 100% that it wasn't the product that they gave me. I can tell you that. But you ask them, what do you want to see? More diverse characters, people of color, non-binary people, gender identity, trans surgery scars. Yes, and what happened? What happened? The game flopped? But that's my fault? Did you make a game for 10 people? And then 10 million people say, yeah, I don't like that. Oh, you're a bigot. Oh no, it's your fault that the game flopped. Why are you not buying this? You're a bigot. No, you asked 10 people what game they wanted and you deliver for 10 people, but you forgot that to make money, you have to pander to the majority of us. How is that my fault? It's not my fault that you guys are not good at your jobs anymore. And you have gotten away with putting out shit utter poop from out of your asshole onto a plate shit. And I'm happy it's so good. BioWare made this. Obsidian made this. Ubisoft made this. And I have to, why? Because you're used to having people shilling for your company and willing to pull their pants down to cater to your every need. Bro, people are sick and tired.
Because they have the charismatic grifters that make the videos that for whatever reason...
Yeah, because, by the way, thank you for calling me charismatic. I am very charismatic. But I like the people that shill for companies and video games that eventually flop. You know who I'm talking about. I tell you all the time, bitches, be your own individual human beings. Look with your eyeballs, listen with your ears, and decide whether you want to put your money in this or not. I don't tell people, buy this, don't buy this. I don't tell people that. I tell people, I'm not gonna buy this shit for this and 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 this. And if people agree with me, most likely they're not gonna buy the game either. But there's people that still watched me and still agree with some of my points in my Veilguard videos and said, hey, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna, make my own opinion about this game. And guess what? 9 out of 10 of those people hated the game. I encourage you to be your own people. I don't want drones. I don't want this to be a hive mind. But these people also have to understand that it works the same with their audiences and people that watch him stream. People that watch me because they share many of my views and opinions about video games. And people that watch him and people that watch other content creators that are positive, watch them because they have those opinions. So are you surprised? The problem that these people don't understand is like, and I don't know, I feel like they're trying to paint us as Hitler here. Like they're very charismatic. Oh my God. Oh no. They're manipulating the masses with their charisma. Bro, we're just more entertaining to watch. I don't miss my words. I'm honest about my opinions, whether you guys like them or not. And I have disagreed with many of you guys. And I am capable of having a conversation with people that disagree with me. And I don't have to be like, bigot. You guys cannot do that. You guys cannot be transparent. You guys cannot be anything but positive, trying to counter the hate. Because people love to hate. I don't love to hate. Well, I do. I am a hater at heart. But I don't like to hate on my favorite franchises. I don't. But I'm also very self-aware. And I can tell that, hey, if I'm looking at shit, I cannot tell you guys that I'm looking at roses. Because I don't underestimate the intelligence of my audience. You guys do.
People respond to people who haven't actually played this game will hate it just because they're sort of told to hate it. And so what does EA do next time? They don't make Stellar Blade. They just continue to sort of, vanilla the fuck out of everything they work on.
Why? Yeah, but ¿qué? ¿Qué coño está hablando el viejo de los cojones este? Oh, people hate this. And now, because people hated this, EA is now gonna make games just like this. ¿Qué? What is he talking about? Genuinely, in what reality do we live? Because it's not the same as the one I live in. So you're saying that, oh, it didn't work this time, but EA is gonna do it again. Just to own the chats is what you're saying? And the whole dumbass argument of, you didn't play the game, how can you hate it? I have eyes and I have ears, and one thing that EA did and Bioware did was push Veilguard down people's throats. There were hours, I'm talking at least 10 hours of unedited footage of the game out before release. And those were the best hours of the game out there for people to see. And you're telling me that I can see the gameplay and I can see what's going on in the game and I can hear the dialogue and I can read it and I cannot form my own opinion based on what I'm seeing with my eyeballs? No, you have to pay for it and you have to play it. No? No. What you guys want is my money. You want to sell me shit and you want my money on top of it.
And make sure that no one's going to have anything to complain about. They straight up...
The f*** are you on about? That's what they did with this. The problem is that this is exactly what they did. They did not make the game. And again, I love this. I love how he literally pins everything on grifters of why Veilguard was so safe. Was because of the grifters. Bro. The grifters asked for anything but Veilguard. We didn't want a safe game. We didn't want pronouns in our games. We didn't want a lecture about gender identity. Did we ask for that? Is that why Bioware put those in the game? Because the grifters complain too much and they had to make the game safe. Is that why they did what they did?
Ask you if you want transgender game options 1 hour in. You select yes or no. So all the people bitching invited it into their game. I don't even know what it asked, but this character apparently is the Barv trans character, and so far they're...
You're playing the game and you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. That character is not trans. That thing is non-binary. And even before you get into the non-binary bullshit, Tash is just the worst written character I have ever encountered in my entire life.
There's nothing, not that that needs to be, I mean, to me that's the equivalent of saying, do you want black people?
So now we're equating not wanting a lecture on gender identity to being racist. Yeah, because, I didn't hear people saying Davrin was the best character out of all of them. I didn't hear people say that. No, I didn't. Right. I heard people say, oh, we hate Davrin. That's what I heard all the time. It wasn't Tash, you know what I mean? It wasn't Tash that got dogpiled on because she was the worst character that I've ever seen in my entire life. No, it was Davrin because he's a black elf. Sit the down. You need to take your pills and take a nap, Grandpa, because, bro.
Do you want black people in your game? We have a button that'll get the blacks out. That's the equivalent of it. But if that's what you're saying...
Yeah. Exactly. What else are you gonna say? What else is left in the check? Like, oh, you don't want women in your game, right?
I mean, I didn't even know that's what they were asking. The only thing I've come across so far, and again, I've seen that cutscene, it's terribly written and performed, the Barv thing, but the only thing I've even come across so far is when you're talking to characters and one of your multiple options is you can romance a character who is the same sex as your character. And
I'm tired of having to watch people fight invisible enemies because I don't think I've ever had to dumb down and just to grown-ass men on the internet about white people. And I don't care about Hypnotic's opinions, and I don't care about Smash JT's. That's their opinion, but I hate it when it's, they try to pull me into this shit. Okay? And I have said it multiple times why I hate Dragon Age the Veilguard. And people are like, oh, she's transphobic. Their reaction when she told the devs to delete themselves was because she's transphobic. Bro, at that point, I hadn't even met Tash. And I hadn't even been subjected to the mirror thing. The mirror bullshit was the last nail on the coffin for me, okay? I had come of hours of boring gameplay, terrible and repetitive dialogue, terrible voice acting, terrible animations, terrible characters, and I was just, I was just boiling. I was ready to pop because I could not believe the game was so much worse than I could have imagined. Because I don't think there's anyone other than me that has gone through every single bit of footage of Dragon Age Veilguard prior to release and tried to put together the reasoning why this game is so bad, why it fell off, and given my opinion over and over and over and over again. And again, the woke shit on the game wasn't even the worst offender. And that's something that you are unable and incapable just owning, that you cannot make games anymore. You guys have fallen off. You're preaching for white men with experience or just talented people to be pushed off the industry in favor of people that fit a certain specification. And it's, oh, if you're black, if you're this, if you're that, just call me and you're gonna get direct line of access to our company. And you're not actually hiring people based on their talent. And how is that my fault? You guys are incapable of making video games because the people that you hire do not know how to make video games to begin with. They know how to run their mouths on Twitter. That's all they know how to do. But it's my fault, and it's Hypnotic's fault, and it's Vara's fault, and it's Smash JT's fault that we bring awareness to that. It's so blatant and so disrespectful to your audience that has been there to buy your releases year after year after year. And you want me to do what? Thank you for it? And pay you $70 each time? That. Wake up, Grandpa. Wake up. Because you don't live in this bubble anymore. Okay? People are sick and tired of this bullshit.
And you can just be like, oh, no thanks. You're like Chad and SNL. It's like, no thanks. And, you know, if that's not what you're into.
No. Oh, you don't like it? Don't buy it. Fuck you. Because this wasn't a problem 15 years ago. Well, this wasn't a problem 15 years ago. And I've said this multiple times. I remember being able to go to the video game store and pick 5 titles off the shelf. Didn't even read the back of the box. Just like, this, I like the look of this and this and this. And 9 out of 10 times, they were good games. All of them, they were good games. Why do I have to shift through shit to find one game that it's okay to play? And you want me to pay almost double of what I used to pay back then? For nothing. In what head fits that concept of like, oh, this is your fault. This is your fault. If you don't like it, don't play it. Don't look at it. You guys have gotten away with a lot of shit for a long time. And now people are putting their foot down. And you guys are like, this is bad behavior, mean, bully, harassment. No. Bitch. And honestly, please be more losers on the internet. Be more embarrassing. Expose yourselves on Twitter because you're incapable of being a professional and not like going to like X beef or Twitter beef with people when you're a video game developer and you should know better because your name is attached to an IP and a company. Mine isn't. I can talk mad shit on the internet. My name is my own. I don't have to worry about nobody. That's why I can have as much beef as I want. Because guess what? You guys are not in that fucking position and you have forgotten. You think that we're buddies, that we're besties, we're friends. No. You make a product and I consume it. And if you make bad product, me no consume it. Okay? We're not friends. We're not mutuals. We're not friends. You don't retweet my tweet and I retweet yours. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. No. Go back to making good games and you won't hear people shit talking about you on the internet. Stop airing your fucking personal business and your family's personal business on the internet and people won't comment on it. It's as simple as that.
The grifters who hate woke still streamed the game and played it to finish grifting.
You haven't played the game. Why are you hating on it? You're a grifter. You're playing the game and you're hating on it. There's no winning. Not that I want to win because it's like talking to a fucking wall and I don't give a shit. I literally don't care about your guys' opinions. I don't care about anyone's opinions really, except my own. But you guys seek validation. You seek to be on the moral high ground. That holier than thou attitude that I am better than you. I'm a white savior. I'm a straight ally. I have friends that are black. I have friends that are queer. I have friends that are trans. Therefore, I'm better than you. How many trans friends do you have? How many black friends do you have? Shut up. You guys are the problem. You guys are the ones that are talking ice and like fucking black people and queer people and trans people. You're making them into tools for profit. And people don't want to consume said shit because it doesn't go there. It's the same thing that in the next installment of God of War, Kratos, turns out he's been a fucking trans man all along. No one wants that. You guys want to push those messages. You find the right IP. You make a new IP and you push those messages because it fits. And then people like me can say, that's not the game for me. But here comes Veilguard and he comes Avowed, where there has been established like lore in video games of what the game is, how it looks like, how it sounds, and how it goes with both Pillars of Eternity and Dragon Age. And now all of a sudden you're like, no, actually rebrand. Queer people have been here all along. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And that can be said about so many fucking IPs nowadays. It's not our fault that you take shit, that it's good the way it is, and then you fucking break it down to shove pieces that don't go in there. And when people don't want your fucking poorly put together like shit, you make it our fault. I'm very sorry. I'm not paying $70 for utter garbage. No.
How bad the game was. So yeah, they didn't like it, but played it for views and ad revenue equal.
What are you doing? Bald-headed man. You bald-headed demon. What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? What are you doing? Guys, can you guys tell me what the bald-headed old man is doing right now on his stream? Is he playing Dragon Age the Veilguard for views and revenue? Is he, by the definition of the word, grifting? Good job! Oh my god, he